Hello, welcome to Rough Cut Film Review. This is a review of End of Watch. So this is a film that was written and directed by David Ayer, who has made the really good and the gritty Training Day, all those years ago with Denzel Washington, and the really bad and cheesy SWAT. And I never would have guessed that the same person was responsible for writing both. I mean, they're broadly similar themes and they're incredibly disparate films. I remember actually from SWAT the immortal Samuel L. Jackson line, "You're either SWAT or you're not," or something like that. Take that, traffic detail cops. Haha, we're SWAT and we're super cool. Mercifully, End of Watch is the more sort of Training Day side of that spectrum, not at all similar to SWAT. So back to End of Watch. Well, the word fuck is used, apparently, according to IMDb, it's used 326 times, so it is rather sweary. The film is actually a 15. As I understand it, there was about 4 seconds of the film cut to get it in that's at the distributor's request rather than the BBFC forcing, which is what they do these days. So you submit a film and you say, well, I want this as a 12A, and then the BBFC will look at it and then recommend the cuts and say, well, if you take this bit out, it'll be a 12A. And obviously money being the overriding factor more now than ever, that's why it's so rare we get 18s, as I was saying with the Dread review. So anyway, this is only a 15, which is unbelievable when I think back to the films of my youth that were cut at 18. It's not terribly violent. I mean, it's gritty, and obviously people do get shot, but it is the sweary nature of it and the adult themes of drug dealing and that kind of thing, cartels, all etc. So plot-wise, Jake Gyllenhaal and Michael Pena are two tough LA street cops. The film takes a sort of candid cam mockumentary approach, which I was long fed up with that. I mean, someone says at the beginning of this film, why are you filming everything? If if you do something wrong, that evidence could be subpoenaed, and you could be in trouble for filming crimes, or you not acting completely appropriately. There's no satisfactory answer for why they are filming stuff. They just sort of are. And later on in the film as well, there's criminals driving around and they do things like drive-bys, and for some reason one of them is filming everything, and again there's no satisfactory answer for why you're filming a drive-by shooting. Clearly that's probably not going to keep you out of prison. So anyway, it's a contrivance that doesn't need to be there. We don't need to see the candid cam. I know why they do it. They try and make it more gritty and realistic. It's nonsense. Just drop it. And this is a film, bear in mind. So we're quite happy to believe that there's a camera there. That's not a problem. We've been doing that for years. So where are we? So the film can be looked on in one of a few ways, really. I mean, it does. The film feels authentic. I mean, the best thing about the film is the bromance, brother relationship between Jake Gyllenhaal and Michael Pena. That all feels really authentic and really strong, and it's good fun as well. Apparently, they spent months doing ride-alongs with the LAPD, and if you trust IMDb's trivia section, one of them actually witnessed a murder while doing that. So, I mean, I think one of the trouble with the film really is that the banter of the two partner cops and their lives, and their relationships and all the weddings they go on is really strong. That stuff is really good, feels really fresh. However, there's an overarching, I mean, they felt the need to have a narrative-driven plot as well, as rather than just character-driven, and the overarching plot of Hispanic gangs, cartels, and an element of racial tension between the blacks and the Hispanics, that doesn't really work for me. That's by the numbers. We've seen this before 100 times. So the two partners are the heart of the movie. They're a great pair. They're believable. They're funny. They're engaging. You buy into their friendship. You buy into the fact that they're really cops. That stuff all works really, really well. So the character-driven, tough cops in a squad car having a laugh all feels really off the cuff, really authentic, and they have believable conversations, and you chuckle along with them. They're very likeable. The narrative-driven stuff works less well. But there's some good stuff in there. They seem to go to a lot of weddings, and the Mexican weddings, Mexican themed weddings, as I suppose you'd call it. There's a great first dance to Salt and Pepper by Jake Gyllenhaal and the lovely lady that he marries. And that all feels really authentic. I mean, the people at the wedding are more physically attractive than they actually would be in real life, but the script and all the elements there are really fun and engaging, and you really buy into it. I think one of the criticisms that are generally associated with this kind of film is around sort of the sexual politics, and the women characters tend to be very poorly formed, and they tend to be, attractive women there to stand next to the men and, make the men look even cooler, in a bikini or something. But they're not believable characters in any which way. Here, I think you probably could level that criticism at this, but it's less important. I mean, the two women characters, while they are both absolutely gorgeous, they are likeable but they don't get much in the way of screen time. But crucial to this film is the bromance, so that the women do take a back seat, and I think it's appropriate for the film. Negative. So the film is a little bit too long. It should be a 90-minute picture, and there is a definite ending, and then it just sort of poodles on for another 15 or so minutes. The plot, as it is conventional cops, drug dealers, shootouts, and toward the end it just sort of rumbles into a pretty standard cops and robbers sort of affair. But having said all that, there's a lot to like in this film, and if you just take it as two blokes in a car, they're great guys, it's a lot of fun, and there's a lot to like in it. So yeah, recommended.